welcome back to another edition of Mad About Soccer. South Florida Football Academy U16 2009 boys taking on Inter Miami. This is the hottest ticket in town right now. Inter Miami, one of the best clubs in Florida, although this season, the 2009 team, is behind Orlando City. But Inter Miami, nonetheless, the home of Lionel Messi, one of the biggest clubs in MLS soccer. And they are visiting us here at Loggers Run Park in Boca Raton. You got to be excited about this. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Oh, I tell you, I could hardly sleep last night. I was so excited about this game. I can't believe Inter Miami is here in Boca Raton. Why would they come to this field? Why aren't we at Inter Miami?
Well, that's a very good question, Jeffrey. A lot of questions there. Our fields have often been referred to as the surface of the moon or the mud pit. But there are advantages to the home field. So we'll have to see how that plays out today. Inter Miami coming into this season having lost to Tampa Bay United and Orlando City so far. Kind of curious because Inter Miami having a almost insurmountable record last year. I don't think they lost a game in flex or in regular season. But having a difficult time this year, to say the least. So this could be a big win here today for South Florida coming out of the winter break, having a difficult time going into that winter break, but reinforcements have arrived. In the name of Andrew, Hurricane Andrew has come to town. I don't know if that's a little too, is that a little too soon? I don't know. But he is here playing at striker for South Florida, having lost Joaquin during that winter break. They pick up Andrew, who's hopefully going to bring some firepower to this team. Let's look at the lineup. Andrew, number 91. Diogo, 44, out there on the left side. You have Mateo, and you have Masi in the middle, as well as Brian out on the right. Crosby is in at the center defensive mid position. Matthews out on the left side. You have Hansen and Diego taking up your center back positions. And Nico out here on the right side. Steven getting his first start in MLS Next. Oh, I'm sorry. Going to have to correct myself. This is his second start for MLS Next. His first came against Kendall. And now he's getting his second attempt here with the toughest team in the league. One of the toughest teams in the league. Constantly having to correct myself here, Jeffrey. Sorry about that, folks.
Do you want me to take over? I'll be happy to do it.
You're just itching to get into this chair, aren't you, Jeffrey? Well, I'm not going to let you do it. It's just the excitement, folks. It's the excitement of this game. Coach Jared Ray has said that this is going to be one of the testaments to the season to see if they can pull out a win here against one of these tougher teams. Now, with that being said, some adjustments to play here. DeRosa playing out on the left back is not his typical position. He's starting to play there. Was playing there more often going into the break, but now is the first start at left back. Andrew playing up top, like we said, bringing that firepower, and then Crosby in at the center defensive mid position. Some curious changes here made by the coach, but hopefully all for the best, and especially Steven in at goal, Colton being unavailable for this game as well as Eli. So the coach having to go with his NAL goalie, but that by no means is a reflection of his skill. Steven is a very capable goalie and does have a previous start with the MLS Next team, as he has shown his grit on the field to get the job done. But we're really excited about this game, folks. This is going to be something that is going to be talked about. It's got a huge group of attendees here today. Obviously, scouts from across South Florida and possibly the nation are here to watch these young men go toe-to-toe with one another to see who's going to come out on top. So a lot riding on this game. This is a flex game, I believe. Yeah, it is a flex game. And we'll see how they turn out here. Maybe South Florida can knock Inter Miami out of the flex tournament. It's doubtful because they do have a considerable number of games. They're going to more than likely go to flex regardless if they lose this match. But in a pivotal game for South Florida, as they need all the flex points they can get to try to get to Maryland, as they have not been very lucky with that this season. But we will see how it goes, and we'll be coming back at you here in a moment with one of the best games you're going to see all season. So stick with us, and we'll be right back. If you like the content of Mad About Soccer, we'd like you to go ahead and start following sideline_shutterbug at Instagram. Sideline_shutterbug is at each South Florida Football Academy's U16 soccer match and is taking some amazing photos of the action from each game day. Be sure to follow so you might be able to find your photo each game day. Whether you're on South Florida or the opposing team, there may be an amazing photo for you to click, like, and follow at Sideline Shutterbug at Instagram. All right, Jeffrey, anything key for today, do you think?
Well, they have to possess the ball and they have to be ready to defend relentlessly today. Inter Miami is a very patient team and they're going to play the ball back and keep possession and try to poke and prod at the South Florida defense. It's really going to be a test of those back line to see if they can hold back the onslaught of attacks from Miami. But for South Florida to get ahead here, they have to play some counter-attacking football and try to put the ball in the goal and defend like the Dickens to keep them from being able to tie it up. And hopefully they can pull out the win.
Well, that would be ideal. I think you're right there, Jeffrey. They're going to have to defend very well against this Inter Miami team. Now, just so the folks at home know, Inter Miami is comprised of players from all over the South Florida area and beyond. So they're bringing the very best talent here. And really the main difference between Inter Miami and South Florida is Inter Miami, once you get accepted there, you're not really paying for much. I mean, the MLS club is essentially taking care of your player. So South Florida, this is mainly parent driven, where the parents are bringing them to the games, the parents are taking care of their equipment, and all the above to try to get them prepared for these games. So it's really a David versus Goliath type of scenario. So we'll see how it goes here. The boys finish up their pregame ritual, and we're going to be off and running here in just a moment. All right, Inter Miami to start with the ball. We're on Field 4 at Loggers Run Park. This is the better of the two fields. Two fields are still being treated for turf, so we're waiting to see. Inter Miami off to a rocky start here as they're having some difficulties navigating the field. And, got the first foul of the day, and it's never too soon. Crosby coming in with a slide tackle.
Well, he's definitely good to feel that one in the morning. Crosby sliding in right here, coming out of the frame like lightning. But he gets more of the player than he does the ball. It's a good call by the referee, and it's going to result in a free kick.
All right, Inter Miami elect to take it short, pass the ball back. Like we mentioned before, they like to possess. Blocked by Diego there. That ball going down, and it's back in the middle of the field. Matthew's going to get that one. He's going to play it out wide, headed away by Inter Miami, and it's going to go out for the first throw of the day to the left side. Matthew on the throw, looking for Mossy. Inter take it away. Inter with the ball in the middle of the field. South Florida trying to get back. Diego falls. This ball's going around and around. Still in Inter Miami's feet. And Diego comes away with it and clears the ball. Some frantic defending here by South Florida so far as Hansen heads this ball away. Andrew trying to get under it, can't do it. Another headed ball away. Andrew can't get to that one either. And Inter Miami are going to retain possession. So Inter Miami attacking already as they're having some difficulty on the field here. Some players slipping early. Headed back down by Nico. Nico takes a slide in there, comes away with it. He passes it through to the middle and finds Andrew for his first touch in the game. He gets it off to Diogo. Diogo now trying to find Andrew again, but cleared by Inter Miami. Crosby chests the ball down. He's bringing it across, takes a little contact there from the Inter Miami player, and Brian's going to let it roll out for a throw. Quickly into Nico. Nico to Brian. Brian to Mossy. Brian now back on the ball. Puts the ball in the space. Andrew's there, and we're going to have our first offsides of the day. Well, that was close.
Well, it's still promising there. That was a good attack from South Florida. As you can see here, he's just beyond the last defender. Not much he can do there. But I like the attack so far from South Florida. That's good. If he has managed to be a little bit more onside there, could have had a real chance and a shot on goal.
Well, between the sticks for Inter Miami is a former South Florida football player. It's Brandon Souza behind in the sticks there for Inter. Always good to see Brandon. Always a great player for South Florida, and we hope that he's doing well. Ball played back to the keeper, Steven, for his first action of the day. Passes it out to Nico. Diego on the overlap. Diego now with the ball. Diego looking to make that cut in. Can't do it, but wins a throw. Oh, that's not going to be a good throw there. As Diego tried to get that ball in, he may have stepped over the line. Hansen's going to be there. He'll heads it down to Diego. Diego takes a touch inside. Inter striker is there. Nico comes away with it, passes it back to Hansen. Hansen with the long ball up the middle, looking for Andrew, but cut out by the Inter Miami defender, who plays it over to the middle. Hansen again there on the ball. Mateo to Matthew. Matthew puts the ball up in the air. Diogo manages to get to it, and Andrew comes away with it. Andrew now on the ball. Andrew trying to dribble, can't do it. Maintains possession and plays it back to Matthew. Matthew now surveying the field, tries to cut up the field, but doesn't have the dribble, and it goes out for an Inter Miami throw. Diogo coming over, gets a piece of the ball. And South Florida could be off here, off to the races. Andrew giving chase, but Brandon way off his line and kicking it away. And it's going to be a South Florida throw. Oh no, it looks like we have another offsides.
Well, it's going to be Andrew again, and yes, there he is. He's just a little bit, maybe a few feet offsides there. But again, trying to get that edge, that advantage on these defenders is so important. Can't blame the lad for being a little forward.
Well, Andrew causing some problems for the defender there, forced to play it back to goalkeeper. And Inter are going to start from their back. Ball goes out. Play on, says the referee. Nice little move there from Brian. Mossy trying to play it to the middle, can't do it. Brian playing it back to Hansen. Hansen back to Steven. Steven with a little bumble there, but I think he's going to get back. Oh, thank goodness he does. And he plays it out to Matthew, or he tried to. Inter Miami takes it over. They're in the box. Another slip there. And Hansen could have cleared, but he got it off to Crosby. Crosby to Nico. Nico down the line finds Andrew, who plays it back, but Inter Miami there again, and we're going to have another foul. Looks like another offside goal.
Well, it is. We're not going to go into great detail there, but it's definitely offsides. I think this is a lot of jitters here from the South Florida players. It's very frantic. They're trying to make these wonderful passes and trying to beat all the players, and they're not having much luck there as Steven comes out for that ball. But they need to calm down here. This is so crucial. You could give away a goal in the first 15 minutes if you don't calm down.
All right, well, Steven doing his best to calm things down. He's going to punt this one away. Ball bouncing. Andrew trying to get underneath it. He's going to have a heck of a time with that huge center back that Inter Miami have. Ball's coming down the right side. Matthews one-on-one with the right wing. And he's going to win a goal kick. Good job by Matthew on the defensive end there.
Well, this is a very good defending job here. Matthew one-on-one here. This is a very dangerous player for Inter Miami. He manages to hold him up and he goes flying out of bounds. I think he was trying to draw a foul there, but it was clean defending. Well done, lad.
All right, well, South Florida with a free kick. Sorry, goal kick. Steven puts this one long up the field. South Florida not playing out of the back today. I guess they're anticipating the press here as Steven heads this ball away. Wow, that was dangerous. And he gets a hit for it, so it's going to be a foul against Inter Miami.
Well, this was some brave goalkeeping here from Steven. He comes out, he recognizes he's not going to get to it, so he's got to head it. And he takes a hit from the striker of Inter Miami and wins the foul.
Well, Steven never wanted to be afraid to take a hit there. Wins that foul, and he's going to play it long. As I mentioned before, we're not playing out of the back, which is typically characteristic of South Florida. But can't say I blame them against this high-pressing Inter Miami team. As Crosby dancing with the ball, trying to get a pass off. Can't do it. Inter Miami back in the attack. Nico breaking it up with Diego. And Diego able to pass the ball down to the right side, but no South Florida player is there. Mossy now applying some defense, as well as Andrew. Inter Miami bringing it over to the left side. And giveaway. Matthew on the throw. Matthew down the line. Andrew holding up that big center back. Gets it over to Diogo. Diogo now letting it roll out. And another, not going to be a throw for South Florida. It's going to be a throw for Inter. Crosby coming over to defend that ball. Mateo kicking it away. Inter coming down with it one more time. Playing it through the middle. Intercepted by Nico. Nico kicking it into the knees of Mateo. Mateo slide tackling the ball forward. Again, this just jittery offense from South Florida. A lot of panic passing here. Don't you agree, Jeffrey?
Well, it's definitely panic, but what it is nobody's wanting to make a mistake with the ball. So they're just trying to release it as fast as they can. And it's not always going to be a perfect pass when you do that. They really need to settle themselves down, otherwise they're going to make a critical mistake.
All right, Matthew on another throw. He's waiting for an opportunity to get it off, taking up that space on the line. He goes long, and it's headed by the center back Inter Miami. It's going to be a corner. Should be a corner. Is it not a corner? Oh, they're calling a foul on Andrew there. He got up underneath the defender. And it will not be a corner. It's going to be a free kick for Inter. All right, center back takes it across the field. And Inter Miami moving up. All right, ball through the middle. Nico's going to be there. And he takes that ball back to Diego. Diego under pressure, plays it across. Matthew falls or slips. Another slip by an Inter Miami player. Everybody's falling. It's like they're on ice out there. Inter Miami gets it across to the middle. Crosby blocking it with a slide tackle. Now Andrew fighting for it. And Inter Miami playing it back to the keeper. Well, the field is definitely playing a factor. Can't say if it's for or against us at this point, as it's affected both South Florida and Inter Miami players. Oh, Mateo come flying in there to challenge for that ball. And it's going to be a throw for Inter Miami. Mossy now applying the pressure. Mateo trying to come away with the interception there. Can't do it. And Diogo is going to poke that one loose. And it's going to be a South Florida throw. Matthew with the long throw up to Andrew. Again, holding off that Inter Miami defender. Comes away with it. Mossy kicks the ball up in the air. Andrew trying to get under it. He can. He does. He's got Nico sprinting out right. He's got him. Nico now on the ball. Plays it into Brian. This could be something. Brian now on the ball. Making some nice moves, some headway crosses, and wins a corner. Great job by South Florida.
Well, would you look at this dribbling from Brian here, holding up the ball, trying to create space, trying to find somebody to get the ball to, and wins a corner for the team. Good job from Brian there.
All right, well, first corner of the game. Brian set to take it. Plays it in short, immediately kicked away by Inter. Not sure if there was a miscommunication there or not. It's a shame. As Inter now back in the attack. Matthew cutting out that pass, pops it up in the air. Headed away by Hansen. Nico popping it back up in the air. No balls on the ground so far, as all these passes have just been up and over, up and over. Steven coming out of his box, but quickly to jump back in it to collect that ball. Rolls the ball out to Matthew, who's immediately under pressure. Takes a touch, and unfortunately it goes out wide. So we're going to have to get a throw from Inter. Inter now playing into the middle. And playing back. Inter getting a little bit more patient. You can definitely see that Inter Miami is just so much more calm than South Florida. It really shows the quality of their club and their players. As they play this ball out to the corner. And cross back into the box. Dealt with by Hansen. Nico gets it. Nice pass up to Brian. Things maybe have calmed down a little bit now. Brian trying to create a step over there. Can't complete it. And Inter playing the ball back to their keeper, who is way out of his box. He plays it short to his center back. Andrew applying pressure, as he has done for most of this game. Back to the goalie. Goalie back to the center back. Now, as he surveys the field, the center back for Inter Miami has plenty of time. The press has no longer brought itself. Matteo trying to win that header, can't do it, but it falls to Matthew. Matthew trying to play it up to Mossy. Can't find him. Crosby ends up winning the ball. Crosby now on the attack, trying to make something happen. Can't do it, and too many pink jerseys. As Inter now plays this one into the middle of the field, and they've got a player running on the ball. Nico now giving chase, as well as Diego. Diego challenges for the ball. Inter Miami striker goes through. Nico tries to slide, and Steven is there to collect. That could have been dangerous as he avoided all challenges, the Inter Miami striker. And he could have been in a real dangerous spot there, but alert feet and hands from Steven to collect that ball. Steven looking for a throw, decides to go to Matthew. Matthew plays the ball down the line, and another ball out of bounds. That's 3 balls out of bounds by Matthew. Definitely not adjusting to this left side, I think, to the hopes of Coach Jared. We'll have to see if that position maintains for him. As Inter Miami again plays out here to their center back. Now up through the middle. And Crosby coming over to challenge, just a little too late, but Nico able to collect it. Gets it to Brian. Brian back to Nico. Nico to Brian, but ends up to Inter Miami. Inter Miami in a real dangerous spot here. Oh, taken away by Matteo. Still on Inter Miami's feet. Shot! And it looks like it takes a deflection, and it's going to be Inter Miami corner. Well, that Inter Miami striker is having a heck of a day there. Here comes the cross over the goalie and out of bounds. Steven placing the ball for a goal kick. He's going to put it long up the field. Brian is there. It bounces. Brian heading it back to Crosby. Crosby over to Nico, but it gets popped away by Inter Miami. Crosby retains the ball, though. Crosby with a nice turn around the Inter Miami defender. Plays it up to Andrew. Andrew trying to get it out in the space for Mossy, but can't do it. And it's back to the Inter Miami keeper, who plays it long up the right side. And it's going to be offsides. Ooh, that was a close one.
Do we not have the overhead view to see if that was really offsides?
No, unfortunately, the video quality today is not what I would call broadcast worthy. So we may have some video clips in here as the broadcast continues. However, they're pretty poor.
Ah, I see. Oh, although I don't see.
Oh, the goalkeeper for Inter having to get a little dirty there as Andrew was applying pressure. Brandon had to come out and jump on that one as he rolls it out to his center back, who then plays it over to the Inter Miami left side. Mossy there to kick the ball away. Inter throwing down the sidelines. Nico defending. Ball popped up into the air. Diogo could not get ahead to it, but Andrew got a foot to it and still maintains possession. Ball goes out wide. Brian is there. Brian getting harassed. Ball gets somehow, I don't even know what happened there. Too many bodies to tell. But it looked like it might have gone out to Matthew, or it might have been just played into space. Matthew couldn't get there, and Inter Miami came away with it nonetheless. Inter Miami now, no pressure. Center back bringing the ball up the field. And he's going to play this ball long. Nico is there. He gets a piece of it, but it plays it into the middle. And this could be trouble. Strike at the crossbar. Matthew is there. He heads it away. Inter Miami still maintaining possession on the outside of the box. Cross to the other side. Nico's there to head it. And man, did South Florida avoid a bullet.
Well, try a cannonball. Look at this. Number 20 finally getting the shot that he's been looking for all day, and he just puts it off the top of the crossbar. Steven couldn't have a chance at that ball, even if he was 8 feet tall. What a shot. Unfortunately, off the woodwork.
Well, Inter Miami now take a short corner. Ball crossed in. Matthew heads it away. Brian is there. Gets a foot to it, but just rolls a little too far. Inter Miami take over. Ball on the right side. Cross into the middle. 26 chests it down, but can't get control of it, and it rolls out for another goal kick. This one, South Florida will play out of the back. Matthew trying to play it up the field. Another turnover as this ball's played in the middle. Crosby trying to get a hold of it. Matteo kicks it away, and it's going to be a foul on Inter.
Well, there's another foul for sure. As you can see here, the ball comes in. It's going to be a high foot on the Inter Miami player as he made contact with Crosby. Good call by the referee.
All right, well, South Florida with another free kick. Hansen taking it short to Mateo. Now playing it over to Matthew, who's having a hard time here on the left side. Another giveaway. Mateo now trying to defend and blocks that cross and kicks it away long. Good job by Mateo as this ball bounces out. Matthew really having a hard time on this left side. Not sure how long he's going to last at that position as Hansen kicks this ball away. And Diogo now coming up, getting the ball to Andrew. Andrew trying to get it to Moss. He can't do it. Inter Miami are going to chase it down. Inter Miami now on the ball, bringing it up the left side. Ball into the middle of the field. Brian there to provide defending. Diogo now chasing after the ball. Ball over to the right. No real pressure. Here comes Diogo. Diogo poking it away. Diogo trying to jump on the ball. Can't do it. Inter Miami player plays from the ground and gets the ball back. Diogo trying to kick it away. Can't do it. And Inter Miami maintain possession and kick the ball back to their defenders. Here comes Inter Miami and a fall. Again, the ground playing its tricks on these players. As Inter Miami again trying to be cautious, but Andrew poking it away. Ever present Andrew defending. As the ball bounces around, Diogo gets a foot to it and kicks it straight back. Again, the Inter Miami keeper way off his line to come out and collect. And almost got himself in a jam there, but gets out and plays over to his other center back. Inter Miami, no fear of this South Florida team, and they really shouldn't, considering who they are and what resources they have to play with. But South Florida so far sticking in it. Diogo chasing this ball down, can't get to it, and it's going to win a throw for South Florida.
Well, South Florida have started to calm down a bit. You can see Coach Jared there warming up some of the subs. I don't know if it's because he's not seeing things that he likes or if there's just something that he needs to adjust. But very early in the first half to be looking at substitutions. So it's got to be something that he thinks needs to be fixed. I have to imagine that being the left side where there just hasn't been any attacks generating from.
All right, Inter Miami in possession in the back. Playing it across. Center back's a good distance apart here for Inter Miami. There's a huge gap in the middle. If South Florida could ever pick one off and exploit that. Ball played over to the left side. Matthew tried to challenge, missed it. South Florida back on the defensive end. Matthew Hansen pokes that one away. Blocked by Mateo, the shot. Another slide tackle from Mateo, but he doesn't come away as lucky on that one. And they get the ball to number 20. Nico trying to defend. Ball into the hands of Steven. And the attack is extinguished. I tell you, having a tough time here with this ground is Inter Miami. The ball popping up when they don't expect it to be. Cleats not gripping the ground. Steven taking his time here. Waiting for his players to get in position before he punts it out. Mossy getting ahead to it. Inter Miami winning it back. Ball played into the number 20 yet again. Plays it across. And number 2 gets it over on the right side. He's dribbling towards Brian. Releases. Ball into the middle. Easily kicked away by Crosby. Inter Miami trying to win him. Did they get another foul? And they did. Diogo commits the foul in the midfield.
Well, Diogo's upset there, but I think he does make contact, and we can tell right here he gets a piece of the Inter Miami player's leg, and he commits the foul. I can't complain with the referee on that one. Actually, all the referees' calls, I have to say, have been fair, and they have been what has been seen by me as well.
Well, this is potentially a dangerous spot. Inter Miami with a number of large players. Put this ball into the box. It could be a problem. Ball into the box. It's headed towards Steven, who collects it easily and quickly throws this one out, I should say, to Diogo. Diogo having to hold up the defender, passes it back to Hansen. Hansen sends it long. Inter Miami is there to collect. Inter Miami trying to maintain possession of this. Mateo harassing the right back of Inter Miami, who's forced to play it back. Inter Miami keeper now on the ball. Plays it long over to the left side and out for a throw. Nico taking a long throw over the head of Mossy. Mossy able to collect it though. Gets it back to Nico. Nico playing it into the middle. And down to Andrew. Andrew to Brian. Brian putting the ball back into the middle. I don't know if Diogo or Andrew almost got there. But there was a crowd. It would have been nice if they just poked that one on forward for someone to run on. Inter Miami a little out of position here. But their players adjusting as they play out of the back. Not a lot of pressing going on from South Florida. A lot of walking around. I guess they're taking their time to rest. As Inter Miami pull off the big switch. Mossy coming over to defend. Ball played in the middle. 20 ahead of Nico here. Nico defending well. Nico having to hold him off. Can't do it. But wins the foul. Good job by Nico.
Well, I think this. I don't know if this was a foul here. Nico wins the ball. Yes, the Inter Miami players got his hands all over him, but I don't think there was really much contact there. But not going to complain so much about winning this foul.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Steven. Just shut up. All right, Inter Miami trying to win this ball back. Oh, there's another push. That one I would say is more of a foul than the last one. And clearly out of frustration from the last call that Nico got, man, there's a shove right to the ground. I'm kind of concerned that the referee's not going to his pocket on that one.
But, right, I have to agree with you there. I mean, it's clearly a foul right after one that he had committed. It's purely frustration. He never played the ball. He just went right after the player. Clear yellow card in my opinion, but nothing produced.
Well, South Florida now playing it back over to that left side. Matthew able to get it back. Plays it over to Mateo. Mateo playing it long up the field. Andrew kind of loses it. But trying to fight for it back. Can't do it. And Inter Miami playing it back once again. Kind of a hypnotic rhythm that Inter Miami has to their play. They can't find it on one side. They play it back. They switch to the other. Then they test the middle. Then they play it back. Then they switch the side. It's very mechanical. It's very predictable to a certain extent. But so far, Inter Miami not able to find the right combination to unlock the defense of South Florida. Brian trying to win the ball back from this big center back. Almost caused him to make a mistake there, but Inter Miami maintained possession. South Florida trying to bring pressure every once in a while. They're trying to keep it spicy, I guess, to keep Inter Miami guessing. Bad slip there from Diego. Luckily, Steven playing close to the top of his box was able to pick that one up. As you can see, these players' cleats are just covered in mud. So it's going to be very slippery surface for them as Steven plays this one over to Matthew, who had a tough time bringing that one down. The ball manages to get through, but Inter Miami find it and they play it long. Inter Miami now into the box. Cross. Steven falls, but pops back up like a cat and grabs that ball before it could bounce any further. Wow, seeing a lot more slipping and sliding now as Steven throws this one out to Matthew now on the left side. Matthew playing it in the middle. Crosby is there. He puts the ball up the field. No one is there, unfortunately, except for the Inter Miami center back, who plays it long. Diego heading it down. Also got a piece of his foot. Inter Miami playing it back into the path of the number 20. Nico having to defend here. Doing a good job as Diego comes over for the assist. Big number 20 maintains it. Diego down on the ground again. Can only assume it's from this field. Ball played across. This is trouble. Steven with a great save.
Magic!
Oh, man.
Well, you said it before. Reflexes like a cat. Look at them pounce on this ball. This is a one-time shot here. What a great reaction. And he was up in the air and he grabs it and he just bats it away like a cat with a ball of yarn.
All right, well, Inter Miami with another corner. They take short. South Florida doesn't look ready for it. Now they are. Ball into the box. Goes by everybody. Inter Miami maintain possession, putting it back at the top. Long ball floated in. Steven up in the air. He drops it, but he's able to collect it. Almost like a volleyball set piece there as he popped that ball up in the air and then came down with it. Low punt, but able to get a foot to it is Brian. Inter Miami putting it right back in. Hansen able to get a foot to it. He keeps running on it. Ball comes down to Matthew. Matthew playing it out. And it's going to be Inter Miami throw. Inter putting the ball down. Brian and Andrew now applying the pressure. Ball goes all the way back to the Inter keeper once again. Ball played long up the field. It's going to drop in there. DeRosa now defending with Mateo. Mateo puts the ball long. Brought down by the big center back of Inter. Ball back into the area. Mateo gets a foot to it. Back to Crosby. Crosby back to Hansen. He's going to bring this ball down. Up the field to Brian. Brian to Masi. Masi to Crosby. Crosby looking for Nico. Can't find him. Inter back on the ball. Nice move by the left back of Inter Miami. Oh, Crosby taking him out.
Great tackle from Crosby as he comes flying out of nowhere once again. And he just slides across this ground. Unbelievable. Like a slip and slide. Oh, right there. Just taking him out in the process. Great job by Crosby.
Well, what this game is lacking in goals, it's making up for in intensity. Plays like that are just what this game is all about. All the players leaving it out on the line, every possession being contested, as Inter Miami win this ball back and playing it back and over to their right side. Ball down the line. Matthew intercepts. Gets the ball up to Andrew. Andrew's got some space here to create something. Dribbles into the big center back of Inter Miami. Matthew is there. He comes up from out of nowhere. Trying to win this ball back. Inter try to play it off Matthew. They miss. Goes back to Andrew. Andrew now with 3 Inter Miami players from him. Tries to win a foul. Can't do it. Brian tries to break it up. Then Inter clear their area. And looks like Hansen's going to give chase. He's going to get there. Diogo cutting off the defender. And Steven's going to send this one long up the middle. Well, that was a good-looking attack at first, but it just fizzled out as Matthew now on the ball. He's going to be playing it back to Hansen. Hansen up the field. Finds Brian. Brian loses it for a throw. Well, much better from the left side there as DeRosa throws this one down the line to Andrew. Andrew with 2 defenders on him. Ball goes out, and it's going to be another throw for South Florida. DeRosa looking up the field. Another long throw. Looking for Hansen, but it just doesn't make it. And it's going to be Inter Miami's ball. Inter Miami. The throw. Bounce back. Oh, off the face of Diogo. Mateo now on the ball. Mateo playing.
Oh, he's in there.
Andrew. Andrew with some space here. Takes a shot by Brandon. Oh, man.
That was
best
the one.
chance of the day for South Florida.
Well, that was the best opportunity they've had all day. What a great looking shot here from Andrew. He's got space. He's got time. He cranks that one out. And what a diving save there from Brandon. Oh, my goodness. It's no wonder he's on that team.
Well, South Florida with another corner. Diogo stands over this one. Let's see if they can capitalize on this one. Short and does not go in. So far, 0 for 2 on corners here from South Florida connecting with another player. Brandon playing this one out short to his right back as Inter Miami bring this ball up the field. Long ball up the field, headed by Diego. I think he got a piece of that. Number 20 on Nico. Nico able to poke it free. Inter Miami striker is down on the ground. Number 20 is on the ground trying to sell a foul, not going to get it. And because he needed treatment, he needs to come off the field. Much like professional MLS games, if trainers come on the field to treat your player, they do have to sit out and await the referee to allow them back on the field to play. Inter Miami playing a man down for the moment as they try to move this ball forward. Hansen kicking it away. Shouldered forward by Inter Miami. Masi brings it down, gets it to Andrew. Andrew with some nice juggling in the middle. Ball eventually lands to Brian. Brian cutting inside. Nice ball out in front. Diogo is there. And he's going to collect that ball. He's got Masi in support. Tries to take the player on one-on-one and ends up fouling a player in the process and kicks the ball in frustration. He's got to watch that. That could be a yellow.
Well, I think it certainly should be a yellow. I mean, you can't just go and kicking the ball around the field. And yeah, he got the yellow card. Yeah, we're going to take another look here. He has Mossy, but he's trying to create something for his team, and unfortunately, he just gets caught up into the arms of the Inter Miami player. I think he was also holding him. That might be leading to some of the frustration there. But I like to see the fire in the players. It means they care. They're trying hard there. They want to be in this game, and they're in it. They can come away with one here and be on top before the half. That would be amazing.
Well, we got about 6 more minutes left before halftime as Inter Miami win another throw. I would say that this is a great match so far. I mean, obviously South Florida had a lot of shakes there. Started on some shaky ground at the beginning, but they seem to have settled into this game and actually grown into it, playing them a little bit harder, making things a little bit more difficult for this Inter Miami team. As this cross comes in, it's going to go over everybody, but still land at the feet of the number 20. Nico again defending. And slide tackle from Diego, but misses. Nico getting the ball. Oh, miscue by Mossy. Inter Miami are going to maintain here in a very dangerous area. 23 for Inter, playing it over to the left side. Mossy coming over to defend. In comes Diego, who kicks the ball a mile. And Inter Miami going to throw it back in here. Inter on the ball. Crosby coming in quick, but can't get it. Inter Miami again. Oh, shot right into the back of Diego. But they still maintain possession. Inter Miami poking and prodding and now crossing. Looking for number 3 who just kicks it and unfortunately can't put it in a danger area. Steven plays short to Diego. Diego kicking the ball up the middle. Finds Diogo, but Diogo just can't handle it. And Inter Miami again back on the ball. Nico with a nice little slide tackle there to win possession. Nico now dribbling up the field. Nobody is standing in his way. He plays it up to Andrew, but it's going to be offsides.
Well, that was a good run from Nico from the back. Started it off with a great slide tackle to win possession. He just waited a little too long to play this pass to Andrew, who started his run already and had gotten back behind the defender. It's a good call by the referee. Clearly an offsides call.
All right, Inter Miami again on the ball here as they look to play short. Crosby applying the pressure. They get it back over to their big center back, who is unabatedly going into South Florida territory. Another ball looking for number 3 this time, but number 20 ends up coming away with it. And he's got some space here. This could be trouble. Diego one-on-one. And Steven coming across, and it's going to be a corner for Inter. Inter now was going to play it short, now having a second thought as Nico was there. Ball into the box.
Oh, no!
Steven gets a hand to it.
Oh,
Matthew blocks the goal.
Good job, lad!
And they finally clear. Oh, man. Matthew in the right place at the right time prevents a goal from Inter Miami here as we get closer to the end of the first half. Man, we're going to have to take another look at that one, but we're going to wait for the action to stop first. Ball over Steven's head. Ball came back across. Matthew just covering the line, cleared that ball, and Inter frustrated once again. Inter now moving in. Ball through the middle. Matthew defending. Ball put over the top. Hansen is there. Shot across the goal. Oh, man. Wow. Too close to call there.
Well, Inter Miami is really pulling it on here. As you can see, the corner goes long. Steven tries to poke it away, but he can't, and the ball comes back across the goal. And like you said, Matthew in the right place at the right time to clear that off the line. Oh, we'd be looking at 1-0 if it wasn't for the smart heads-up play from Matthew defending his goal.
Well, goal. Steven taking the short goal kick, plays it to Diego to Nico. Nico, oh, just a little miscue there. Lets the ball run a little too much. And it goes out for a Inter Miami throw. South Florida feeling a little bit more comfortable trying to play out of the back now. They've done this a couple times. And Coach Jarrett, I guess, feeling like the Inter Miami pressure just isn't enough. So looking to test his player's ability there. Oh, Mateo with a nice take. But won immediately back by Inter Miami. Crosby in with a slide tackle but missed. Ball up into the box, over the goal. All right, Steven now not going to play short this time. He's looking for the long ball. And it is at that. Inter Miami heading it back into the fray there. Looking for number 20, who's now taking more of a central position in the field. Throws it over to defend. And Inter Miami throw. Inter Miami really trying to get that goal as they go into the half. Matthew poking it away. Brian trying to get it. Does. And another Inter Miami throw. Inter throwing the ball in. Number 20. Trying his luck from the right side. Right into the hands of Steven. Steven loses it. But there is contact from the Inter Miami player. I'd say that's going to be a foul.
Well, right you are. Steven always looking to put his body on the line as any goalkeeper should. And he draws the contact from the Inter Miami player, winning the foul. Good call by the referee. Thank you for protecting our goalie.
All right, well, Steven again on the goal kick. Doesn't look like they're going to go long on this one. As Steven plays it short to Matt Hansen. Hansen playing the ball long up to Brian. Brian holding the ball up here. He's going to play it over to Matthew with a nice little touch, but the play has been whistled dead as Brian wins the foul.
Well, I wish the referee would have taken the whistle out of his mouth to see we were playing with an advantage here. Look at that. He was going to win the ball and go up the field. What are you blowing the whistle for?
All right, well, Hansen stands over the ball now for the free kick. All up the field, headed away by Andrew. Mossy's under it. He heads it forward to Andrew. Andrew trying to win back possession now. He is all over this Inter Miami player. Mossy coming over to help. Oh, there's definitely some shirt grabbing there. And who's this going to go for? Inter kicks the ball away. It's a South Florida foul. Good call by the referee.
Well, the Inter Miami player is in total disbelief. I don't know why. The last time I saw this much jersey pulling, it was in the hockey game. Look at this. Mossy wins the position. He's all over him. Now, granted, Mossy also has a wee bit of his shirt as well, but there is still more being done by the Inter Miami player. So good call by the referee.
So you go by whoever's grabbing the jersey more wins the foul.
Well, of course, don't you?
All right, well, Mateo takes this free kick. He puts it into the box. There was a decent amount of South Florida players there. I don't know if anyone got ahead to it, but we did get the ball. And it looks like it's going to be offsides. Wow, offsides being the call. And that's going to take us into halftime as the referee blows the whistle. We'll be back right after this. Hey, Jeffrey, do you like Italian food?
Of course I do. What kind of a stupid question is that?
Well, that's what I thought you'd say. So head on down to Sapido in Fort Lauderdale. It's right near the ocean. You can walk on over and have yourself a great meal. This is the best food that you're going to have without having to be in Italy. So give your taste buds a vacation and try them out. Or maybe you need to carb up before that big game. Or if you're one of the parents, maybe you need to have a drink after the game. And you can always head on down to Sapido Cucina Italiana in Fort Lauderdale. You won't regret it. Look at these photos, folks. The meals are so amazing and tastes so fresh. You're going to enjoy it. See you down there. Well, the first 45 minutes are in the books. Inter Miami versus South Florida Football Academy. I'm just stunned. The action that we've seen, the intensity from the players, the shots, the saves, the defending, unbelievable. Jeffrey, what's your synopsis of the game so far?
Well, it was a rocky start for sure from South Florida at the beginning there, but they definitely grew into the game. Amazing shot from Andrew, even more amazing save from Brandon on the Inter Miami side, but some great defending and goalkeeping from South Florida to prevent Inter Miami from getting a goal, particularly by Steven doing a great job between the sticks, and Matthew there with the defense to kick and deny the goal that was surely going to be in the back of the net. I think coming out into the second half, South Florida has to maintain their intensity and try to press the ball more when it's in the backfield. Inter Miami just have all day with it. And you have to take the chance. You have to roll the dice and try to get something out of it. Otherwise, you're just going to be playing this back and forth of who's going to have the ball on the bouncy field. But I really enjoyed watching South Florida in the last 30 minutes. I thought there was really some amazing and inspiring football from the players there. I think Coach Jared's got to be pleased.
Well, do you see any changes with the second half? I know that we were having some difficulty on the left side, particularly with Matthew, with that new position. Do you think he's going to make a change there?
Well, I would say that if he had kept it up like he did at the beginning throughout the second half, I think for sure he'd be coming off the field. But he definitely redeemed himself with the save, as well as some plays that he made down the field. I think he was trying to make up for it. So, no, I think you give him time to see how he can do in the second half.
Do you envision anyone else coming out before the halftime?
No, I think Andrew's doing a great job. I think really all the players are doing great. Let them settle in and start the second half, and maybe something magical will happen here. You gotta have faith in the team.
All right, well, there it is, folks. We'll be back for the second half in a minute. If you're wanting to see photos of MLS Next action, head on over to Photos by That Bearded Guy. Photos by That Bearded Guy has been present at every SFFA MLS Next game for the last 3 years. And man, the photos that he takes are crystal clear, in focus, and some beautiful shots. If you also care to see some landscape photos, he also takes those as well as nature photos, which are something to look at. If you're tired of those same old AI generated images that look like cartoons, then head on over to Photos by That Bearded Guy at Instagram. I promise you won't regret it, and you may see your player in action. All right, second half, ready to go. No changes from Coach Jared to start the second half. As Andrew plays this ball back to Mateo. Mateo back to Hansen. Hansen back to Steven. Here comes the pressure from Enter. Steven plays it over to the right side. Finds Nico. And fortunately results in a throw. All right, Inter Miami now. Maintaining possession, throwing the ball back. You could just see here by the staffing of Inter Miami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 staff members here for this game. And I got to tell you, that's not even the most I've seen as far as staff goes at an Inter Miami game. Headed back by Matthew. Brian now on the ball. Andrew. Brian. Andrew again. Wow, what dribbling from this large center back from Inter Miami, man. You wouldn't think a player that big could dribble so well, but he does it, and it makes it look easy. Inter Miami being patient yet again on the ball. No real rush. I mean, it's 0-0. So Inter's perfectly fine with holding the ball and trying to take the perfect shot at the perfect time. As they cross this ball over to the center back. Andrew is right.
Oh, he's got
a piece of it.
He's
Andrew's in the open. What a touch. Oh, he slips. It's a shot. It's in the goal.
Oh, my goodness.
It's in the goal.
Oh, my goodness.
South Florida takes the lead 1-0 here in the second half.
Magic.
It's pandemonium in Boca Raton. Jeffrey, can you believe it?
I'm seeing it and I cannot believe it. Oh, what an amazing goal there. Let's take another look at this. Oh, Andrew running in on the ball. Oh, what a beautiful play there by Andrew. And look at that touch. The goalkeeper trying to set himself. He takes a slip. And Andrew has the perfect shot for it. Right around the keeper's reach. And it's in the goal for 1-0. Unbelievable. Here's another look at it. Oh, the veil is terrible. But oh, look at this run here. Andrew poking it away. And look at the crowd there. How many people are showing up for this match just to see this? Great ball from you, lad. Great goal. His first MLS match here at South Florida Football Academy. Oh, what a goal it is.
The fans are still cheering the goal from Andrew, as you said, Jeffrey. First goal, first match with South Florida this season. And what a goal it is to come against Inter Miami, who have just given the ball away. They don't know what to do, Jeffrey.
Well, they're all discombobulated, aren't they? They don't know what is up and what is down. And here goes Andrew again.
And Masi comes down with it. Masi trying to shield the ball. Gets it around. Can he win a corner? Now Inter Miami trying to get the ball out of their box. They can't do it. Diogo gets it back to Masi. Masi with a slide pass. Can't connect. Inter Miami struggling now. Now the tables have turned. South Florida is putting the pressure on Inter Miami. And they are not letting up. All right. Inter Miami now back on the ball. Kicking it back to their goalie. Inter Miami have made some switches. They switched out their goalie, who unfortunately gave up that goal. I honestly think if he did not take that slip, he may have saved that. He may have made a nice save on that ball. But, hey, home field advantage. The ground has been slipping all day. Players have been falling. And that was just definitely another case of this muddy field having its effect. As Brian gets that ball headed down over to Andrew. Brian's still on the ground. Andrew able to poke it free. It's across the goal, but nobody is there. Nobody's there to capitalize on that one. Inter Miami come away with it. Inter Miami now on the attack. Brian's still on the ground. Inter Miami now pushing the ball up the field. South Florida down a man. Diego trying to foul. Can't win it. And the ball comes across the field. Brian still hurt. Hopefully he can get up soon. Diego poking this ball away. And the referee is still allowing play to continue here. Brian has not come back to this side of the field. Inter now crossing over to the left side. Poking the ball up. Nico is trying to defend. Takes a push in the back. And kicks it out for a throw.
Well, we knew when the goal was scored, Inter Miami was going to come back more physical and fierce. And there is exactly what is going to happen now for the rest of the game. Inter Miami is not going to go away quietly. Hopefully, the referee pays closer attention to these types of plays.
Well, Inter, as I said before, has taken losses this season from non-MLS teams. That meaning non-MLS clubs like Orlando City, Atlanta United, things like that. They've lost to Tampa Bay United, which is uncharacteristic for them. And now losing right now to South Florida Football Academy, 1-0. As Inter Miami set up for a corner here. It's a good cross. It's into the box. Shot one time, blocked. Oh, that could have been a goal. Back into the box, and it's kicked in, and it's a goal for Inter Miami. Oh, how did this happen, Jeffrey?
Well, the benefit of slow motion is going to be painful. As you can see here, that's a lovely strike. One time from the number 16 of Inter Miami. And he doesn't give up on the play. He puts it back in the box. And there's 3 Inter Miami players to 1 Brian. And there's just no defending that, I'm sorry to say, right into the corner of the net. Here's another look at this terrible veil. That's not going to give us much insight here. But you can see the ball played in. And they just put it right into the corner. Everybody was watching. Sad to say, 1-1. South Florida looked like they could have gotten another goal there. I don't know how this is going to affect their play. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, and another foul. This one on Crosby. As Inter Miami again continue to try to make up for the goal that they've given away. And with some very tough play there, taking Crosby out. Let's see if South Florida can respond. Hopefully they can. There was definitely some positive play there after the goal. As Diego sends this one long, Andrew trying to run on it. Right on the back of the Inter Miami defender, who is forced to kick it into touch. So far the pressure working here. As Nico trying to come away with that ball, can't do it. Ball played back to Mateo. Mateo to Matthew. Matthew with a positive touch forward. And, there's a shirt pull and a foul called once again for South Florida.
Well, Inter Miami is not in the mood to let anybody get by without a shirt pull or an arm pull or some kind of pull. So they're going to be doing this all game. It's going to frustrate the Florida players. They're going to have to make the best out of these free kicks that they possibly can.
All right, well, Mateo stands over the ball. Set to deliver this one in. Plays it over to Matthew. Matthew trying to play it back to Mateo. Took a bad hop. Bounces in the air. Mateo able to bring it back down again. Passes it into Brian. Brian in front of the box. Brian dribbling on. Brian's in there. Oh, gets brought to the ground, and Inter Miami clear their area and up to the number 20. Fans here giving a mouthful to the referee, looking for a foul there, but nothing coming as Crosby clears this ball into the stands. Look at the crowd here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Diogo goes down hard there, but he's going to win the throw. Just look at this crowd. Everybody shows up for an Inter Miami game, even without Messi. As Inter Miami trying to maintain the possession here, looking for that go-ahead goal. Can South Florida prevent that from happening and try to get one of their own? As the Inter Miami center back is way out of the backfield. Inter Miami maintain the possession. Number 20 again working hard, but Diego working just as hard, as well as Hansen with a nice slide tackle in the box. Ball across the goal, and whoa, man, we're lucky we didn't cough up one there.
Well, luck is right. Some good defending here from Diego and Hansen that just can't withstand the onslaught. This number 20 just doesn't want to be denied. Crosses the ball there, and the number 17, I believe, just couldn't get the foot to it. If he could, it would be 2-1. Inter Miami.
Steven standing over the ball, delivers it long. Ball bouncing through the midfield. Nobody gets a foot, a head, an arm, a shoulder, nothing to it, and it's going to be a throw for Inter Miami. Andrew applying pressure to the backfield. Looking for another giveaway. Oh, he applied pressure on the goalie. He almost got it, but the goalie able to clear his line. Inter Miami now playing out to the left side. Ball being played up through the middle. Steven is there. Over Steven's head. Oh, man, and luckily it's going out of bounds. Wow.
Well, I don't want you to think that Steven misjudged that ball. I think he knew the angle that it was going, and he just feinted at it so that he could win the free kick.
Well, let's hope that you're right on that one. Inter Miami now back with the ball. Matthew now defending on the left side here on the big number 20. Matthew not letting him get out, and he's going to poke the ball away, but it's going to be a corner for Inter Miami as they have been dangerous on these corners. Ball way over the box. Headed back by the big defender. Man, that was dangerous. Almost into the goal, but over the bar as Coach Jared is preparing the first substitutions for South Florida Football Academy. It looks like Brandt and Miguel are going to be checking in here. We'll know who they're coming in for shortly. But we're about 10 or 15 minutes in here to the second half as Coach Jared furiously filling out these substitution cards. And here they come. So Brandt coming in and Miguel. Looks like Mossy is coming off. And I believe Diego came off. Ball over to Matthew. That was a very difficult ball. And Inter Miami going to maintain possession. They kick it long up the field. Steven waiting for it, and he grabs it out of the air. And he is going to wait patiently to get this ball out. Long ball up the field. Brian under it again. Oh, handball for sure.
Oh, well, it was a clear handball. I don't even know why we're reviewing it again. Just wasting time. Here it is. Ball bounces. He's got his arms up. I don't even know why. But clearly a handball and the South Florida free kick.
All right. South Florida Hansen taking this one. Puts it long up the field. Nobody can get there. And it's going to be a goal kick for Inter Miami. Inter Miami trying to play out of the back. Ooh, kind of looked on that angle like Andrew could have stuck his leg out and got that one. Oh, Brian almost coming away with that one. Man, Inter Miami playing it close. Another long ball up the field. Brandt there to protect. Steven collects. Steven throwing out to his right side. Finds Nico. Nico one-on-one. Gets it up to Crosby. Crosby trying to get the ball forward. Can't do it, but wins a throw. Nico throwing into Andrew. Andrew having to fight off this Inter Miami defender. Plays it out into space for Matthew. Matthew plays it long up the field. Andrew just doesn't have the legs, can't get to it. And Inter Miami will take back possession. Inter Miami now trying from their left side. Plenty of yards here to run into. And they play the ball forward, but Nico is there. and gets the ball off to Diogo. Diogo gets it poked free. Inter Miami here with players forward. This could be dangerous. Hansen clearing it out of danger. And it's going to be a throw for Inter Miami. Well, things starting to slow down. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Andrew again pressuring this big center back from Inter Miami. Oh, bouncing ball there. Matthew having to defend, and looks like there's going to be a foul.
Well, it looks like Matthew may have caught him in the back of the foot there, causing him to trip. And it's a good whistle on the foul. Very, very difficult to see. Blink and you'll miss it. That's for sure.
All right, Inter Miami free kick. They take it quickly. South Florida players were still with their back turned to the ball, but it slows down from there as Inter Miami playing it back now. And that's an error, but no South Florida player around to get on it. Andrew's going to pressure the ball back to the goalie, and it's a giveaway. Andrew now has the ball. This could be another chance. Oh, it just gets past him. Oh, man, that could have been two, maybe, possibly. But it just gets by him, and dang it. Opportunity wasted as we take another look. There's Andrew. And, oh, they were going to call him offside anyway. Offsides. Oh, well, still good effort there. Maybe Andrew knew he was off and was trying to make something happen, but heard the whistle. All right, big center back from Enter. Oh, going forward, but Andrew gives him a little push in the back. Definitely a foul, wouldn't you say, Jeffrey?
Oh, without a doubt. There it is right there. Clear push in the back. Andrew was lucky not to get yellow carded for that. Not very smart on his part. Got to be careful here. Don't want to go down a man. Oh, that was a lovely ball there. Oh, what a play by the goalie. Hansen clearing it. DeRosa in on the play.
Inter Miami still in possession. They put it into the flat. Cross blocked out by Brandt. Brian putting it back to Mateo, but he ends up winning it back. There's got to be a foul called in there, and there is. And it's for South Florida.
Well, first we're going to take a look here at this play from Steven as it comes off his line. He breaks up this play. Number 20 was right on it. He tried to chip him over, but he couldn't get it, but it lands back at his feet. And luckily Hansen gets a foot on it and clears the danger. But then here, Brian trying to win this ball back clearly gets a fistful of his jersey. Now that's the third time this Inter Miami player has done this. That should be, the referee should be keeping track of this and should be addressing the behavior.
All right, well, Hansen stands over the ball. And he's going to play this long up the field over the head of Andrew, but not the center back for Inter Miami. As Inter Miami now racing again up that left side. Unabated, but until he gets to Nico, who pokes it free. Crosby tried to make something happen, couldn't do it. Inter Miami now exploring the other side, as they have done all game, back and forth. Another ball into the middle. Number 20 giving chase. Brandt right behind him. Brandt blocking that pass. Now Brandt is off to the run. Brandt through the middle over to Mateo. Mateo playing the ball up the middle, looking for Andrew. Can't find him. Diogo looking for him. Can't find him. Diogo popping it free. Andrew's on the run. He's one-on-one again with the goalie. And it could be another one. Oh, he takes a misstep and another slip. Oh, this time the ground has bit us. And it's bit us hard to the tune of a potential go-ahead goal. As Andrew went to cut the goalie, he slipped and fell. Oh, man. Crosby trying to get back possession, ends up winning a foul.
Well, the ground giveth and the ground taketh away. Here is another beautiful pass here from Diogo to Andrew, who's clearly got his man beat. He just has to do one thing, beat the keeper. And he takes a touch inside. Oh, and the ground just goes like it fell out from below him. And he went down, and the keeper was able to gain his footing and grab the ball. And this was just a foul on Crosby from Inter Miami. Free kick for South Florida as they have some substitutes coming in.
Well, there's a familiar face to the South Florida Football Academy. Lano checking in for Inter Miami at center back. Wow, so many years Lano contributed to the South Florida Football Academy before leaving to Argentina to play, and now back with Inter Miami, playing at center back in the number 24 jersey. Inter Miami collects the ball and rolls it out to the left side. Now back over to the middle. Now over to their right. Oh, trying to control that. Can't do it. South Florida throw in. This one going down the line. Andrew going to come away with it. Pokes the ball into space, but no South Florida jersey is there. Brandt now defending the number 20. High up the field. Crosby coming away with it. Getting pulled, but manages to break free. Ball through the center as it bounces over all the divots. Andrew tries to take a shot. It is blocked. Now Mateo trying to poke the ball free. Can't do it. Number 20 again off to the races here for Inter Miami. And puts the ball down the line. Oh, down to the ground goes Brandt. Hansen sticks out a leg trying to block that pass. Crosby comes over. He's trying to clear it. Here comes Brandt. Brandt able to get it. Referee's waving off the handball that Inter Miami is asking for. He now passes it over to the middle, but Inter Miami is there. Furious back and forth between these two teams. Matthew there to poke the ball away now. Now he plays it down the line. Doesn't go out of bounds. Inter Miami maintains possession. And all the players have sort of stopped. They thought it went out of bounds, but it has not. As it never crossed the ball. The ball never crossed the line fully. And Inter Miami switched to the other side where it will cross the line fully. And South Florida will have possession. Ball into Crosby. Nico plays it down the line. Diogo trying to fight off, or Miguel, trying to fight off the defender, but can't do it.
Well, here he is, Miguel, using his size to his advantage. He has a low center of gravity here, which forces the players to get on his back, and then he just leans back into them, forcing them to commit the foul. Good play by Miguel to win the free kick.
All right, long ball delivered by Brandt up the middle. Inter Miami keeper collects that, no problem. Gavin has checked in for South Florida Football Academy. Gavin, one of our 2010 players, who has shown something to get a debut here at the MLS Next level. He checked in for Andrew. And the ball gets played down the left side. Now over to the right. Diogo heads the ball. Ball comes down to his feet. He controls it. He's going forward. And contact made with the ball, no foul. And it should have really been, I think, a South Florida ball, but it goes Inter Miami's way. Inter Miami now putting the ball long, up the field, headed back by Hansen. Then back into the play by Inter Miami. Brandon, who has checked in, is giving chase. Now Brandt. Brandt, he's got one option. It's Nico. Nico trying to play the ball back to Brandt. And he's getting harassed by the number 20, but wins a throw. Nico going for Brandon. Inter Miami take the ball once more. Brandt coming over to defend. Pokes the ball. Inter Miami still in possession. Crosby giving chase. All defensive players back on the field here, trying to prevent Inter Miami from getting this go-ahead score. And Inter Miami gives the ball away. Inter Miami having the same problems on the left side that South Florida had at the beginning of the game. Few giveaways in a row to kill their momentum. Definitely not going to be seen as a negative by South Florida. As Hansen has to defend number 20. He goes down a little too easily, in my opinion, but wins the foul.
Oh, easy is an understatement. He went down easier than a piece of cake at my Uncle Charlie's. He was a very large fella. I mean, let's take another look here. He wins the ball, Hansen's on his back. He doesn't have his shirt. He tries to take it, and then he just falls down. There's no contact. And Hansen got a yellow card to boot. Oh, that's a Academy Award-winning performance there.
Well, this is a free kick in a very dangerous spot. This is just outside the box. And Steven lining up his wall here. Inter Miami, listen, probably every player on Inter Miami at this point can make this free kick. 3-1-2. 4 people in the wall. Everybody is marked up. Ball's over, and it's over the bar. Whoa. South Florida dodged a bullet there. Luckily, 1, it wasn't in the box. And then 2, the missed free kick really helps out. Hansen puts the ball long. Inter Miami come down with it. Brandon wins it back. Gets it to Diogo. Diogo having to fight off one of the Inter Miami players, try to win the ball, but he can't do it. Inter Miami maintain possession. And now South Florida again back on the defensive side, which has been most of the second half. Inter Miami now back with the ball. Brandt giving chase. Brandt winning the ball. Plays it back to his keeper. Steven plays it back towards Brandt, but out for a throw. Inter Miami back on the ball. Miguel trying to win it. And he goes down pretty easy, in my opinion, as again, Inter Miami.
Well, this time it doesn't work out for them because the referee calls for a handball. He wasn't buying that one. There must be a swimming pool at the Inter Miami Academy to be teaching all these dives. I don't really understand it.
All right, well, with that being said, Brandt stands over the ball. Referees have been extraordinarily fair today. I haven't really seen too many bad calls. Jeffrey, I haven't heard you losing your mind over any of the calls. Oh, man, as the Miguel goes down hard on a slide tackle from Inter Miami. No call by the referee. It looked clean to me. As this is a shot from Brian, it just goes wide of the goal. Couldn't get that curl to it to make any danger on net. But the referees have been doing a really good job here today. Offsides have been fairly accurate. The fouls have been spot on. Even noticing that one wasn't a foul in that last call. Here comes Crosby. Inter Miami now moving the ball fairly well until this play right here as Brandon breaks it up. Miguel now on the ball. They're on the attack. South Florida. Gavin was in offside position, but that ball was played a little too far ahead of him and really was no danger. Inter Miami back through the middle. Miguel comes away with it. He plays over to Brandon. Brandon having a problem stopping the ball. Trying to maintain possession, can't do it, and Inter Miami play it again back over to the left side. Inter Miami looking up all the time, looking for number 20. Hansen and Brandt teaming up. Hansen with another dive. That was dangerous, but he comes away with it. Nico kicking the ball up towards Crosby. He can't get a hold of it. Crosby fighting hard, but can't come away with the ball as number 20 gets it on his foot once again, but cannot fight through the 3 white jerseys that stand in front of him. Ball played up through the middle. Nobody there. Inter Miami back on it once again. Playing it through, but right to Steven, who collects it easily. Coach Juan, as you can see in the back, behind the goal in white and a white hat. I'm sure giving advice to his goalkeeper. Try to calm things down and get this ball out of his area, which he does no problem. This ball lands at Diogo's feet. Diogo plays it through the middle. He's got Miguel running. Miguel, couldn't get there before the keeper, and the keeper puts it into the parking lot. Nico with the throw. Brian coming in. Brian with a nice through ball, looking for Diogo. Can't find him. South Florida, all of a sudden, threatening Inter Miami's goal several times here. A wide shot from Brian, a decent run by Miguel, and a couple other runs. And we're almost in this. Headed back into the fray by Matthew. Comes back his way. He puts it in the path of Gavin. Gavin now on the ball. He's looking to make something happen. He plays it out wide to Nico. Nico now moving forward. Finds a roadblock. Turns around. Now he's got, I believe it's Miguel. Yep, Miguel now on the ball. Miguel trying some footwork. Wins a throw. All right, Nico once again on the throw finds Brian. Brian with 2 defenders splits him with a pass. He gets through. Brian now in a danger area. Gets it to Gavin. Gavin just has to create some space. Can't do it. Inter Miami kicks it away. And again finds that big number 20. Ball intercepted by Matthew. Matthew looking for the long ball. He's got Diogo on the left side. But the flag is up. And it's going to be offsides on South Florida. Oh, man.
Well, again, this is difficult to see with this camera angle here. But Matthew plays a nice ball into the space. But it does appear that Diogo may be a wee bit offsides. But that was a decent ball ahead. Good vision from Matthew. Unfortunately, offsides.
All right, Inter Miami played short. Inter Miami now playing it back to their keeper. Inter Miami doesn't really seem to have a good game plan other than to get it into number 20. As Miguel steals one here out of the backfield. Takes it off Lano. Miguel now winning possession and a throw. Potentially a free kick?
Well, it's definitely a free kick here. You can see Miguel using his low center of gravity here to use his body to his advantage. He just makes that bigger player, tried to muscle him off the ball, and he wins the free kick by just constantly turning and moving around and creating the contact. Good job from Miguel.
All right, well, it looks like we have our final subs of the game. John's coming in, and Saul, Matthew, is off. And I'm not sure who the other player that's off. We'll find out here in a minute. Ball's coming in the middle. Hansen is back post, but is not going to get that one unless he's got springs in his legs. But it looks like maybe Brian came off. And John went in at right back. Saul trying to come away with that one, can't do it. Hansen again defending well in the 20. Pokes the ball out, and it's going to be another throw. Long throw in for Gavin, who heads this ball forward. Trying to cross it in the middle. Nobody at the top of the box. Saul chasing back to try to win back possession. Correction on that. Brian is still on the field. Not really sure at this point who came off. Brandon running up the field. He's got two options. Unfortunately, he can't find either. And it's going to be a throw for Inter Miami. Miguel trying to come away with it. Can't do it. As Inter Miami take that throw short. Miguel coming over to pressure. Inter Miami clear it out, but it's going to be out of bounds for a throw. Hansen with a long throw in. Eventually finds Brian. Brian loses the ball to Inter. Now Crosby trying to win it back. All over Crosby, and Crosby's going to win another foul here.
Well, here's another example of Crosby putting his body in front of the player to just win position here, and then it just frustrates them to where they're just pushing him and pulling him, and then he's winning the foul.
All right, another free kick. Hansen goes a little short there. Oh, almost gave it away, but it gets to John. John now with a long ball over the top. Miguel giving chase, but the Inter Miami keeper there to collect. All right. Well, time is starting to wear out. We don't have much longer to go. I'd probably say about 6 or 7 minutes, maybe less. Inter Miami hasn't really threatened South Florida's goal. It's been mainly South Florida, surprisingly enough. As Gavin trying to find someone to get the ball to. Inter Miami now connecting. Inter Miami now moving the ball on the right side, crossing into the middle. No one is there. And it looks like Saul dealt with that one, and it's going to go out. Brandt heading the ball forward. Crosby getting under it. Crosby kicking the ball forward. Miguel couldn't get to it, but it comes back to Crosby. Crosby out to Saul. Saul taking a touch back. Saul back in the middle. This is good possession football by South Florida. Brian gets a poke from behind. And back to Brian. Brian trying to do something with this ball. Just can't do it. Inter Miami all over him. And Brandt trying to win the ball back. Can't do it. Inter Miami get the ball to number 20. Who then it plays it off Hansen. And it looks like it's going to eventually go out for a corner. So another dangerous corner coming up. South Florida have to defend this well if they want to have a chance at tying this game. Headed back by Crosby. John is giving chase. John out like lightning. Takes a touch on the ball. He continues to run. He's got Lano chasing him, but he can't keep up with him. John still moving forward. Takes an awkward touch there. Tries to play it across. Can't do it. And John looking for a foul is not going to get it, but he does get the corner. Saul standing over the ball, ready to deliver. And here it is. Right across the goal. Nobody gets near it, and it goes out for a goal kick. Well, that was good delivery from Saul. Fortunately, nobody in an SFFA jersey could put a head to it as the goalie plays this ball out to his left side. Inter Miami now. Again, trying to work this ball through possession. And they find somebody through the middle. This could be dangerous. 22 on the sideline. He's got some space. Brandon trying to defend him. Ball played through. Number 20 is there. Shot blocked by Steven. Shot again. Blocked by Crosby. Ball's still in. And we have an offsides call. Holy cow, this couldn't get any closer.
Well, that was an amazing save there from Steven, regardless of the call made. Look at this ball here. I believe that player is going to be offsides. I believe that's who the offside's on. But wow, right off the hip of Steven, who's sliding in to make that save. Oh man, Steven has to be the man of the match here for South Florida. He's made several saves, kept them in the game. The goal, not entirely his fault, just bad luck. But oh man, what a save there from Steven. As this ball is played down the field, I believe it's going to be something, I don't know what. Couldn't tell from the replay, but it's Inter Miami's ball.
Well, that is some dynamite play calling there, Jeffrey. You don't know what it was?
Well, look, I'm only as good as the camera angle that you give me. If you're going to give me a bad camera angle, I can't tell what the foul was.
All right, well, we're missing some action here. Henderson heads that ball away. It's still in play. Miguel comes away with it. He gets it off to Brian. Brian trying to find somebody. Can't do it. Then Miguel heads it forward. Diogo now chasing after it, getting pulled back. No foul call. Gets it off to Gavin. Gavin giving chase. Gavin gets a touch to it. Inter Miami player falls down. Gavin needs to go to the goal. Finds the pass to Saul. Takes a touch inside. Oh, he loses it. Saul's still in possession. He's got players out to the right. It's John. John's going to try to play this ball, I think, into the center. If he can. Takes a deflection, and it's going to be a throw for South Florida. Another opportunity, another chance for South Florida. Inter Miami cannot seem to get control of this game. As Inter cleared the area again, but not as far as Brian. Brian trying to take a shot there. I think it took a deflection because it really had no momentum on it to threaten the goal. Goalie for Inter punts it out. Crosby takes a touch to it. It gets it to Brandt. Brandt racing forward, only to be defeated there by a long kick from Inter Miami. Brandon now on the ball. Back to John. John has Brandt, but decides to go back to Steven. Probably a wise idea as Inter Miami were closing in. Inter Miami now again on the ball. They've got players forward. This could be dangerous. Crosby getting rid of it. It goes out for a throw. We're probably within 5 minutes now or less to the end of the game. Crosby defending well here on the left side of Inter Miami. Sowell kicking it free. Miguel giving chase but can't get there. Crosby now. He gets on it. He tries to kick it up the field. He can't do it, and it's going to be a throw for Inter Miami. Exhaustion starting to set in for some of these players. Brandt and the number 20 locked up. Brandt wins the challenge, gets the ball up the field. Miguel trying to win possession, but wins a throw. Tension starting to seep in here as both teams are threatening, but not really having the ability to finish. Inter Miami now back away. Ball through to Steven, who collects it with his hands, no problem. And he trots over to the left side of his field, where he's taking his time. He has a wide open Brandon, but he elects to punt it long. And it eventually lands to Brian's feet, but a foul called against South Florida.
Well, let's take another look at this one. I'm not really sure what happened here. Let's take a look. I can see, they might have gotten locked up there. Miguel and the other player. And good spot by the referee.
I've overheard the ref. There's about 2 minutes left in this game. Realistically, it's anybody's game. I don't think Inter Miami have been completely dominant. Brandt heading this ball down to Saul. Saul being fouled. Will South Florida take this quickly? It doesn't appear that they will. And it's just a run-of-the-mill foul. Inter Miami player on top of the back. And just holds up Saul enough to draw the foul. Inter Miami, I don't think that they're going to be happy with the tie. They shouldn't be. South Florida, I think, will be very happy with the tie. as Lano chases this ball down, but the goalie eventually gets it and just kicks it long. But it definitely looks like Inter Miami's settling for a tie as they've kicked the ball away. And John puts a throwing down the line. Gavin cannot do anything with it, though, unfortunately. And it's going to be a goal kick for Inter. Coming up on the final plays of the game here. Could this be Inter's last shot to put a goal in and win this game? As the ball goes out to the Inter Miami left side. Brian now coming forward to put some pressure. Inter Miami now exploring the other side of the right. Lano with the ball. Lano plays the ball over here to number 22. 22 down the line. Brandon was there, but difficult play. Hansen kicks this ball out for a corner. This could be it. Everybody on their feet at Loggers Run Park. Ball played. It is back far. Oh my goodness. Oh, cleared away by Brian. And that will do it, I think. Ball goes all the way back to the Inter Miami keeper, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. They have done it. South Florida Football Academy has tied Inter Miami at Loggers Run Park. Oh my goodness. Wow. Everybody's hearts just dropped at the end of the game there on that corner. Inter Miami probably should have put that one away, but they couldn't do it. And South Florida Football Academy walk away with a point. Inter Miami has basically dropped a point as a result of this tie. They should have come in here as heavy favorites against the South Florida team who has not had much success in the Flex League, but come away with a big tie here against a top team coming out of a winter break. They have to be proud of themselves, wouldn't you think, Jeffrey?
Well, Coach Jared has to be proud of these lads. I mean, this was an epic game here. They've all played tough. They played aggressive. They had their chances. They were definitely in the game from the start. They couldn't have played it any better, in my opinion. I mean, Inter Miami never really had control of this game. South Florida came out on the attack early in the second half and managed to bag a goal. They could have gotten some more. It came down to the 12th man, which was the field. Realistically, I mean, if it wasn't for a few slips here and there, this might be a totally different game. So, I think Coach Jared should be proud. I think the boys should be proud of their performance today and look forward to a bright future here at South Florida Football Academy.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jeffrey. I mean, this is why you have so much top-tier talent here in South Florida, because this is the competition that it breeds. You just have amazing players all the time. Look at Andrew. Andrew was from South Carolina, comes to South Florida, and in his first game in MLS Next scores a goal. Where else are you going to see that, ladies and gentlemen? Against Inter Miami. And it ends up being the tying goal. Now, it would have been nice if they had won the game, but hey, I'll take a tie any day of the week against a team that tough. Well, that just about does it for us as we take another look at this amazing goal from Andrew. And we thank you for tuning in. Be sure to click like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content here today. We'll be sure to bring you some more as the season continues. Next up is Orlando City for South Florida Football Academy, which is sure to be a hell of a match, as Orlando City is the top team in the state, some say in the United States. But, wow, this was a heck of a game. Again, look at that crowd here. Those aren't all parents, folks. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Yeah. Get the ball.